Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, which means mornings don't suck now. Unless you don't get that cinnamon sugar ooey gooey frosting deliciousness. Get to Wendy's for the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP, LLC.
I'm Chris Hahn, the Aggressive Progressive. Check out a new episode of the Aggressive Progressive podcast every Tuesday. You know, the election is heating up just as the year is winding down. Stick with me. I'll tell you the truth as I see it. Download the Aggressive Progressive on Pandora or wherever you get your podcasts.
One of the things that I really kind of see in today's society is the continuation of the bondage. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's more of a mental thing. And, you know what I'm saying, I seriously, you know, it's, I guess, possibly my own theory, but I definitely look at it as, you know, people of color, you know, the children of slaves, you know what I'm saying, have for too long been, you know, broken and having to deal with a broken lifestyle. You know, people would rather be broke than be broken, you know what I'm saying, which is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying, if you're broke, you can always kind of rebound the next day, but if you're broken, you know, that's much more of a task. And the powers that be seem to contribute to the dysfunction of people of color by perpetuating such lifestyles, you know what I'm saying, by, you know, making it very accessible for you to hear things that go totally against the grain of human culture, human nature, and just being a human being. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we hear on a daily basis on our radio stations, as opposed to some of the uplifting things that do exist, you know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, it creates a climate that we are kind of numb to the glorification of the violence, you know what I'm saying? And so when we see it, we're not as opposed to it as, not even just that we see it, when we hear it, we're not as opposed to it as we should be, you know what I'm saying? And it sets up a climate, whereas, you know, that the prison industry is big business. It perpetuates people of color being incarcerated, thus the big business of prison being, you know what I'm saying, continually blown up. Like right now, most prisons are privatized. People that fill these prisons are people of color. The people of color that fill these prisons are all people that were basically listening to the radio and, you know what I'm saying, kind of got caught up in the windfall of the things that are pushed on our community. That being said, you know what I'm saying, I feel like a lot of what we're hearing is literally paid for by the powers that be to kind of keep these mental chains in place. You know what I'm saying? It would be so easy for us to speak of greater things and to show greater things, and, you know, instead of us putting that kind of energy into us improving life, we continue to, you know, to stay stagnated, you know what I'm saying, right where we are, because it feeds the pockets of something, of an agenda that's above our heads, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's a lot to say about music, but I really, really, you know what I'm saying, look at the world we live in and the things that are pushed on our children. It's really important for us, especially as parents at this point, to, you know, to monitor what's going on in our lives and the lives of our children, because it directly affects them when they have to make decisions on their own. You know what I'm saying? Once it comes to the point that they're making decisions on their own, but all of these ill things are being inundated in their lives and just really pushed upon them, they don't see the problem with taking these penitentiary chances on a daily basis for literally sneaker money. You know what I'm saying? If that, you know, people are much more into notoriety than they are into making money. You know, everyone says they're trying to make money and this and the other, but cats really just want to be known, and they'll do anything for it, i.e., you know, the Kardashians to, you know, the Love and Hip Hops of the world to every reality show that's on television. Like, it's all problematic, and it's at a point now where the people are really numb to it. For the most part, people are really numb to it, and it's really having a counterclockwise effect on the culture.
I'm Chris Hahn, the Aggressive Progressive. Check out a new episode of the Aggressive Progressive podcast every Tuesday. You know, the election is heating up just as the year is winding down. Stick with me. I'll tell you the truth as I see it. Download the Aggressive Progressive on Pandora or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mark Goodman.
And I'm Alan Light.
On today's podcast, in celebration of International Guitar Month, Pete Townsend of The Who will join us.
Pete went deep with us into his relationship with the guitar and with music in general, the new Broadway version of Tommy. He clarified the status and the future of The Who, and much, much more.
Sound Up with Mark Goodman and Alan Light, the only music podcast that matters. Get it on Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.